It was only 2 weeks ago today that Joe Scarborough was calling Donald Trump a fascist. And I was grateful for that because he had the courage to do that when the New York Times and the Washington Post and CNN and NPR did not face the fascism at the door. And now it's inside, and he goes and visits. And what's so upsetting about that is obviously I've identified myself now as a liberal, and NBC was kind of all we had. The New York Times and the Washington Post has angered liberals tremendously through the coverage. CNN tries to be balanced and do this. MSNBC was the last liberal outpost of media. And I know you might start laughing at me. The New York Times and the Washington Post are liberal. We'll disagree about that. But MSNBC was that. And there was no good reason to go and pay obeisance in advance. Nothing journalistic came out of this visit. They came and it was all off the record. Oh, we're going to ask him for an interview. Well, obviously Trump's going to want the airtime. That's fine. No value came. And they went on bended knee. And it was, I think, in the end, a betrayal of the staff at MSNBC who do still criticize Donald Trump, who now feel that they are in some jeopardy because of that, because he has threatened the press. And so I think that it was a bad moment for Joe and Mika. And I'm going to think that MSNBC for me, starts about 4 p.m.
Meanwhile.
And I will say also, I just want to say thank you, first of all, to everybody who was so kind last night, but also thank you. Willie, yesterday I saw for the first time what a massive disconnect there was between social media and the real world. Because we were flooded with phone calls from people all day, literally around the world. Very positive, very supportive, going, I understand what you did, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But once in a while, I would get a text or a call from someone and go, oh man, I hope you're doing okay. And I call him back and I go, well, Eddie Glad was one of them. I go, Eddie, are you on Twitter? And he goes, I am. I go, okay, well, I'm not. So we've had a good day. Mika just had a wonderful event, and it's fantastic. We're going to do all of us are going to do the best we can do, and we're all working towards a better America.
Take it day by day.
Day by day. And again, you can predict the future by shaping the future.
Nah, MSNBC has to go, man. They're the worst.
I'm a little bit confused though. Y'all sit there, y'all call somebody Trump, or at this point.
He said at this point.
Y'all sit there, y'all call somebody Hitler, right? And y'all are dead serious. And y'all were like, why are people not believing that he's Hitler? And
she was going hard on Trump.
If he's actually Hitler, like you say, meeting with Hitler can never be justified. It can't. If you meet with Hitler, you're a Nazi too. So y'all some Nazis.
That's why they're
Well, if Trump was truly Hitler, he wouldn't have been out of office from his first term.
A lot of people
would have been. It's a lot of reasons, bro.
A lot of people would have been dead.
But I mean, the left got what they wanted when January 6th happened. We got to be real. That's what they
ran off that for so long.
They ran with that, and then they start running with cats and dogs. That's when we knew. Everybody knew, man.
Yeah,
only the dumbasses, believed in that shit. But
America spoke.
I think this is actually the worst news outlet. Now I forgot they have Al Sharpton. So y'all have Al Sharpton and Joy Reid and Joe. Oh, you guys are cooked.
Finito.
Oh, you guys are cooked.
Y'all ain't even got one Scott. CNN, I say they're the same as y'all besides Scott and the other dude.
Ooh, you heard what bro said. He said that was the only liberal source they got.
No, but he said they're trying to say that CNN is
He said they're in the middle.
Ask Scott if they're in the middle.
I mean, they're not.
They're not. But
they're like 70-30.
Y'all notice how much better the panel is without
Scott,
Abby Phillip on it?
Huh? Oh yeah, it's smoother without her. So she get fired, or she on vacation, or what?
I don't know. I just don't want to see her on there no more. She's just better without her.
She gets sick and tired of me trying to understand other people and being so pragmatic and trying to be like, I'm okay, you're okay. Now, where can we meet in the middle? La, la, la. On this question, we're past that. You can't meet. If they voted for Trump in 16, whatever. They voted for Trump in 20, they knew exactly what they were doing. If they vote for Donald Trump in 2024, and I've said it on my show, I'll say it here, they're knowingly voting for a fascist. They're voting for a racist. They're voting for somebody that wants to put this country 200 years in the back.
Wow.
And so I'm not trying to figure them out. I'm trying to figure out how we get people out who love democracy, who love freedom, who love the rights of all Americans. how to get them to the voting booth. Because that's how we save our country.
I'm not gonna lie, they deserve all the backlash they got.
Yeah,
They do.
deserve it.
Hell
Look,
yeah.
they went too far.
Yeah, look what
Because
that money
at
makeup.
first I wanted to get on here and be like, you know, they shouldn't get backlash. This is what the liberals do. But then I forgot about all the hooting and hollering they did.
Now y'all want to talk to Hitler, so the people that actually believe that say, now y'all fearing with Hitler.
Oh, and at the same time, your show and channel is tanking because you talked to Hitler and you convinced them all that he was Hitler. America didn't listen.
Shows 1 in 5 adults regularly get their news from influencers on social media. The number is even higher among younger Americans, with almost 40% under the age of 30 getting their news from those sources. According to the Pew Research Center, the social media site X remains the most widely accessed platform, followed by Instagram and YouTube.
I mean, that comes obviously for political news. And Mike, that's the challenge. You grew up in a newsroom like Gene grew up in a newsroom. I mean, that's a lot of challenge. That's a challenge for a lot of mainstream media sources is, do they make themselves relevant again to here 20% of adults who actually get influencers on social media?
I don't know how
Maybe somebody who makes baskets, and while they're making baskets, they look up and say, vote for candidate X.
I don't know how they make themselves, how we make ourselves relevant again, because we can't compete with 20-second snippets on an iPhone, walking up the street,
Morsels.
getting your entire news digest of the day.
Actually, y'all could.
No,
They
they
do the
couldn't.
exact same thing.
No.
They can make it account, drop it.
Nobody want to listen to these old zombies no more. Y'all time is
And y'all
past.
lying.
Y'all out of touch. You're old. You tell
They
people to
could.
think what you want them to think, or you bully them, and y'all think y'all just some experts.
They just gotta stop
Nobody.
that.
It's so
bro,
funny that
people
they're concerned.
don't want to hear that shit.
refreshing.
They want people that's really living in reality and really living this everyday stuff have stake in the future.
No, that's true.
Not these super
It's
rich
over with.
old people who time
y'all
has
done.
passed.
It's too late. No,
he
it's
needs
too
to
late.
take his
It's way
ass
too late.
to the retirement home with Joe Biden.
But they could have done it.
They're going to get a big
No, they
cruise
couldn't.
for all y'all.
If
They
they didn't
could've-
come on here calling him a fascist, they have the funding, more funding than all of these podcasts that have.
Oh, yeah,
$1
they have way
billion.
more
You
funding
know,
than all
and
the
they could just
podcasts.
put their stuff. They have YouTube. They
Have all the resources.
All they had to do is not call him a fascist.
All right,
They wearing
well,
the
you
suits
put it
every
like
day.
that.
You know, they playing a good part.
They can
but just-
hire younger people. There's a lot of
They
things
can do a lot of stuff.
They
just-
chose-
they did do
chose
that.
the wrong
They
route.
did, they did.
And now they trying to.
They did choose the wrong
Don't
route.
hate the
Back
player.
pedal?
Don't hate the player.
You know?
Don't hate the player now, y'all.
Yeah,
They
over
thought
it,
they
man.
could get the young people
Y'all-
by
y'all had
showing
an
booty
0-15
getting shaken on the
Yeah,
stage.
y'all had an 0-15 season.
Yeah.
3 seasons in a row. And
It's
now
like-
think y'all gonna get good players.
It's
Come
like,
on,
you
man.
know,
And good
it's a
fans.
new draft. You know, the rookie class is in and we here. And we balling.
It's over with.
Relevant again, because we can't compete with 20-second snippets on an iPhone, walking up the street,
Morsels.
getting your entire news digest of the day in less than a minute on
Yeah.
your phone as you're walking under the crowd with coffee in one hand and your phone in the other. I don't know how we catch up to that.
Yeah, so Gene Robinson, do you agree with Mike? Because I find this hard to believe. That younger voters would be more interested in getting an entertaining 20-second
to their old
news
ass.
snippet than watching a cable news show for 4 hours from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning. I mean, come on. This seems like an easy choice to us here.
What is wrong with these people? Exactly. Yeah.
What is wrong with these people? They talking about how do we compete? You're done.
Come on. This seems like an easy choice to us here.
What is wrong with these people? Exactly. Yeah. I mean, look. If I knew the answer, I would implement it immediately, right? And reverse this, but we have to compete. I mean, the answer is we don't know how to compete with these social media basket making influencers or whatever, but we have to, and so we've got to figure out ways to do it, and maybe we make our own 20-second snippets, and we meet viewers where they are. We meet news consumers where they are because they're not here, and that's the problem.
Like at school, the people who have the most influence are the coolest people, and y'all not cool. I'm sorry.
That is true, man.
I'm telling you, the nerds that grew up and got their fancy degrees,
they are.
and now they on TV nerding it up with their fancy labels, talking shit
but-
to everybody.
but they're
And y'all
supposed
think
to listen to
y'all
us.
think people supposed to listen to y'all?
They're supposed to. This is
you're not-
crazy. I mean, I can't believe that they would have listened to
He
us.
talking about, well, I don't know how we compete with these people. You ain't competing with nobody, homeboy.
Y'all got no oil. Y'all got
I
no
mean, bro.
swag. Y'all some green ass square ass niggas.
But it's crazy, bro. Like, y'all have the most funding.
And the most.
Y'all got green screens, cameras on camera, scripts.
They got
Y'all
a
have
whole crew of
everything.
people.
Y'all have millions of dollars funded into this.
Billions.
And you got
billions.
And you guys are
telling you.
tanking?
Yeah.
It's because of y'all, bro.
Exactly.
Bro, I told you.
The
they're
HBCUs
old.
is beating Alabama.
They're old and out of touch.
Should said JUCO.
Nothing changes for me, and I think for you guys either, from before Election Day, which is, you know how we have criticized Donald Trump. You know about his policies. You can see it in the people he's nominating. You'll see it in a minute when we talk about his plan for mass deportation. None of that changes for me. None of that changes for us in the way we will criticize that. He is the president of the United States. That's a fact of the matter. He won very narrowly. I would point out that just yesterday, as more votes came into California, he has slipped under a 50% majority nationally. All of those swing states, save for Arizona, within the margin of error. The polling actually was right in those states.
So when we were saying every day, this race is a tide?
It was.
It was tied.
It was. He swept the battleground states. True. In that way, it was overwhelming.
He swept them, but
almost
within the margin of error,
Yeah.
which again, that's how you win elections these days. 2016 within the margin of error.
Yeah.
2020 within the margin of error. 2024 within the margin. We are a 50-50 nation. I guess the question is, again, side issue, when are we going to learn to work together?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm deeply skeptical. It might be an understatement that he's going to suddenly be this bipartisan figure in our country, given his history, given the nominations and the choices he's making right now. But we will cover him as we've been covering him.
They don't know what they doing, bro. They're old and out of touch, bro. I don't know how to run no routes. Y'all trying to run the ball every play. We run the spread offense now. We scoring points.
They running the wing T.
Literally. I think we can run I formation and run power I every play of the game.
Hey, you know, man, Vivek said it before we even knew it. We was like, man, well, Vivek said we gonna be, you know, the new outlets. And we was
Vivek
like,
said
well,
it.
that
He did.
I was
that
like,
was the
wow.
most motivating shit I've ever been told.
You know, I was like,
he said,
Vivek.
he said, you know something?
But
he said, you guys are in one of the best positions ever. I was
was
like,
right.
damn.
He was right again.
When a billionaire tell you something like that,
Listen
you
to
listen.
him.
Hey, Nicole Shanahan said the same thing.
Yeah.
That was 2 for 2. 2 billionaires told us
two.
that. I was like, oh shit. Hey, if
And
they
the
saying
numbers
so,
are
What a
showing.
funding that? What a funding that?
Hey, we Russian spies. Where my Russian bread? I tell y'all something. We just 4 black guys and a camera.
DEI
And
production.
imagine this, Joe. Imagine if you guys didn't call him a fascist and a racist. How many votes would he have gotten?
A lot more.
Off just policy and
lot
the
more.
economy, man.
A lot more.
Come on, man. This shit's insane.
I don't know. That's probably what literally the only saved them was the fascists. So if they didn't bring up the fascists, you think the
Oh,
vote
it would have been ugly, brother. It
Yeah.
would have been ugly.
Yeah.
Y'all, the proof's in the pudding, guys.
Take y'all L.
We out of here.